I would say it's a good point for Manchester United against Tottenham. It was a very, very tough game to start with, and a pretty boring game, I would say, in that first half. But United showed resilience and character again, and it is frustrating, but it's 5 unbeaten now for Manchester United, which is the longest run we've had under Ruben Amorim. 2 goals scored, but again, the problem is the amount of goals we're conceding. I think I'm fully confident with the fact that we can score goals. But yeah, listen, it's another point. I think it takes us up to 7th place. I was happy that we didn't get the loss, and it's another set-piece goal from a corner that gets Manchester United out of jail. And I think for any player to get the goal, I think Ligt deserved it. I think it was a wicked goal, great header, great bit of kind of blocking by Shaw, and I think a great header by Ligt to come up with the header in the last minute was fantastic. And he's someone who's been fantastic. He's played 90 minutes. He's played every minute of the Premier League season for Manchester United so far, and I think this is the reward that he's deserved. I think he had another good, solid performance again today. Yes, he probably could have done better on the goal, but it's kind of an unlucky deflection sending it in. But I think Manchester United probably did. The draw was probably the fair result again. I think Spurs first half were probably the more dominant side. They created more chances. Obviously, United get the goal. It's a great bit of play from Mbeumo, Cunha, Bruno, and obviously the cross comes in from Ahmad, and it's a wicked header by Mbeumo. And I think Amorim played Mbeumo for a reason on that side. Even when Ahmad came off and moved, and even when Mount come on, you thought Mbeumo would move to the right hand side, but I think Amorim obviously saw something for him to stay on that left hand side throughout the whole game, and I think Mbeumo had a wicked game. I think it was obviously touched on TNT about the defensive work rate from the players, but again, I think Spurs, they're just not great, and I think this was an opportunity for United to get 3 points here. I think Spurs, yes, they had chances, but in the first half, they didn't even have a shot on target. And you look at Manchester United, you look at the goals we scored. I mean, they come after the 70th minute is when we've made the changes in the defence. And again, listen, we were down to 10 men for the last 10 minutes of the game. So to get the kind of point from that is very, very positive as well. But to go down to 10 men, and then we had to push and show a lot. And I think that first half, personally looking at it, I think Spurs, as I said, the more dominant side. Richarlison had a few chances. And I think the team was interesting from Amorim. To start with Ahmad on the right and Mazraoui at right wing back was very interesting. I think the characteristics which Amorim always talks about was probably right to do that in this game. I think defensively, Maguire, Shaw looked very, very good. I think in midfield, Bruno and Casemiro again did very, 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 very good. And I think Amorim probably knows it's more of an opportunity loss, like it was last week against Forest, because there were chances. I mean, you look at the Sesko chance, that was probably the biggest one. I think he just needs to be a little bit quicker, and he has found himself a few times in that position where he hasn't kind of got the right shot off, and I think that will only come with time, but he had a chance there. I think Cunha today was probably a bit slow with releasing the ball, but again, you look at his part in the goal was very, very good as well. But we did have chances to win the game. Someone who had a really good game as well, Le Mans, made 3 very good saves that I can remember in quick succession as well. And yes, listen, the goal, maybe the second goal, I think it's just more poor defending by Ugarte. I think he's too slow to come out and to react, and obviously Richarlison is onside. The first goal from Tel, I think it's poor from Ugarte again. I think just gets pushed off the ball by Odegaard, and then it's not quick enough to react in the box. So listen, I think the goals were definitely preventable, but you look at Le Mans' performance, 3 good saves I can remember. The one from Romero was wicked, and he made, I think, there's one from Paulinho as well. So again, it does so when you do have a keeper in there. He did have a bit of a shaky start with the ball going out straight away, but I think he thoroughly, he was definitely a contender for man of the match. I think the saves were fantastic and ultimately helped us get a point. In terms of, again, United attacking wise, I don't think we were good enough going forward. I think we struggled to get the attackers into the game, and I don't know what happened with Sesko. I hope it's not a long-term injury, but the fact that he had to go off does kind of make me think it was an injury, especially with, and it just shows the one time Amorim makes 5 subs, we end the game with 10 men. But I think, listen, the characteristics were there for Manchester United to get the win. The chances were there for United to get a win, but Spurs, they're not great. And the goals, the subs changed the game for them. And second half was just the problem for Manchester United. And again, you look at the goals conceded again. Another 2 again today. 2 against Nottingham Forest, 2 against Brighton. We're conceding too many goals, and I think that's something that is a problem for Manchester United. And I think it's becoming more apparent each game. The more games that we play, the more goals we concede, and the problems start to arise. And you look at where the goals come from. It's just poor defended by United. One comes from a set piece, But look at from an offensive, then you look at the offensive play. You look at the goal from Mbeumo was fantastic, and you look at the set piece for Manchester United was good. But I think we still needed a lot more defensively, and that is probably the problem. I think going forward, as I said at the start, there's no doubt that we are going to do well, and Spurs just didn't make it easy. Yeah, Spurs didn't make it easy for Manchester United, but I think one player who did well as well was Ahmad. I thought Ahmad did a very, very good job defensively. And listen, this is Amarim's longest unbeaten run. 3 wins and 2 draws in 5 games. It's pretty good. It's a decent point. And again, listen, Ligt was fantastic. He was unreal. So yeah, I think I'm very, very happy. We should have beaten Tottenham today. I think that was kind of the main thing I took from it. Ligt again getting the equaliser. It was very, very deserved by Ligt, to be honest. But again, people would say it's four points dropped in the last 2 games, which I say it was. I think the Forest game, we definitely could have got we should have got 3 points there, and today you would say that as well. But it's 5 undefeated, which again shows massive progress from Manchester United. And I think as a team, we had a good performance again today. Again, Ligt probably saved us from embarrassment. I think it would have been a pretty embarrassing result if we did lose. But again, the fact that we did it with 10 men, we showed a lot of fight. And again, getting a draw is always better than getting a loss. This was Ligt's first half against Spurs. 96% pass accuracy, 33 touches, 5 clearances, 3 headed clearances, and he didn't get dribble past at all. So he had a very good game. I thought Yoro, when he came on as well, looked good. And again, Bruno Fernandes gets another assist. And only Arsenal are on a longer current unbeaten streak than Manchester United. They're on 7, we're on 5. So, yeah, another stat for you as well. Le Mans still yet to lose a game when he's played for United since his debut, obviously. Ligt, this is his full game. 86% pass accuracy, 67% aerial duels, won 6 clearances, 3 ball recoveries, and 1 goal as well. So, I thought he was very physical today, and he did a very, very good job. And listen, this is the problem. As I said, goals conceded. There are only 4 teams who have conceded more goals than Manchester United. Wolves, West Ham, Burnley and Forest are the only teams to concede more. And I think that is probably the problem. The fact that we're conceding too many goals is a big issue. And I think that's something that needs to be resolved. And the goals are definitely preventable. They just come from sloppy mistakes from United. But all in all, a decent point. We're making progress. That's now 5 unbeaten games for Manchester United, which is something that, again, it's always good to string a run of games together. We need the results. We got the point again today. We've got some tough games coming up. It's Everton now after the international break, then Palace, both away. I think Everton's at home actually, and then we go Palace away. So there are some tough games coming up, but you look at that as another opportunity lost. But again, I'll take the point. Thank you for watching. Man of the match, probably Le Mans. Again, I thought Mbeumo, his work rate was fantastic as well. I thought Ahmad had a very good game as well, but there wasn't one player in the team that I say was poor. I thought Dorgu as well. Not even talking about Dorgu, had a wicked game as well defensively. He got the better of Brennan Johnson. He was very physical, aggressive, won his duels where we needed to. And I think he had a pretty underrated game as well. And I think we've been calling for him to get this opportunity. And I think this is one that was needed by him. But yeah, I think it was a pretty good performance by him. But let me know your thoughts.